Well, judgment to the plaintiff that's by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested, writ to issue 10 days. Okay. Shiloh Farmers versus Stephanie Vogel. And Corey Vogel.
Oh, thank you. I want to make sure for it.
What?
Oh, before I approached, because you just said her name first, I was like, I didn't want to just walk up here.
I called the important one.
Right. For sure.
Just along for the ride. All right.
All right.
All right. Where are we in this case?
Okay, so we called Hawk, as previously known, and we didn't get approved for that. So after we left here last time, we were calling the MAP program. The issue with that is they said they only hand out like a set amount of them a month. So by the time we got out of the last court hearing and we called them, they said that they had already handed out like the maximum for the month. So they told us we could come back on the 1st and get it.
All right, guys, the courtroom is already tense before anyone even speaks. A quiet conversation suddenly turns into a financial emergency. The tenant explains they didn't just walk in randomly. They had already reached out to assistance programs before court. But here's the problem. The help they needed was already gone. The monthly limit had been reached before they even applied. Now the clock is ticking and the red balance is growing. Every second in this courtroom suddenly feels expensive. And everyone knows this case could collapse at any moment.
So I'm actually requesting that as long as we pay May's rent, so we stay under that $2,000, if we can apply again through MAP. So we stay under 1,000%. Yeah. So we can stay eligible for the MAP program.
So the balance at present, Your Honor, is $1,895.79. There was a payment made of $280 earlier this week, or might have been on, I'm not sure if they dropped it off on Friday or on Monday, but in any event, they did make the $200+ payment that they had promised, but I don't have authority to adjourn it into May while we wait to see if they qualify for that program, unfortunately.
How much is their monthly rent?
It is $9.15 plus they have a $10 pet fee, and then the water sewer based on usage, which looks to be 110, 120-ish, sometimes a little higher. Or
the discussion quickly shifts to the MAP assistance program, but there's a brutal twist. Funding resets only once per month. By the time they called, the money had completely disappeared. Now they're forced to wait until the 1st of the month. The strategy becomes survival, stay under the $2,000 limit. If they cross it, they lose eligibility instantly. The courtroom turns into a math battlefield, numbers replace emotions, and every dollar matters. One miscalculation, and eviction becomes unavoidable.
Lower per month.
Your Honor, we're also waiting on DHS to make their payment.
To make
their payment.
I did forget about that. Thank you, Ms. Vogel, for the update on that. I believe DHS did approve a payment of, what was it, $581.70, I believe, is what DHS approved. And so their payment of the $280 would cover the portion DHS said they were responsible.
Trying to figure out how to get. I don't have any. When did you guys call Hawk?
The same day we got out of court.
I don't.
I have the paper where they sent me a file.
I don't have anything on that. Okay, that's not anything having to do with you guys. You guys are good. Okay, all right. That's just more my frustration with people messing with the system. All right, it's okay. Usually crush those people when I get a chance. Did I say that out loud?
The judge leans forward and starts calculating aggressively. The current balance, $1,895, dangerously close to the cutoff. A small payment was made, but it barely scratches the total. The landlord's attorney refuses to delay without authority. Monthly rent gets revealed to $915 plus fees and utilities. Water, sewer, pet charges, everything stacking higher. The total keeps climbing like a countdown timer. The courtroom grows quieter as the math gets worse. This isn't just numbers, it's survival under pressure.
Okay.
I heard nothing.
There you go. All right. So did you give me a number that their rent would be? If
So
you-
925 plus approximately, let's just say 120. That's probably their average water sewer usage ish. So 925 plus 120, 1,045.
So if they're at 1895 plus 1,045, roughly speaking, I would be at 2940. All right. And so but then I take off that about 580 that DHS is going to pay once everything's paid.
I paid everything, so they should release the funds.
Pardon?
I paid what DHS expected, so they should be releasing the funds.
Okay.
They said I had to pay like $17.80.
Then suddenly, DHS enters the conversation. A possible payment of $581 could change everything, but there's confusion about what was already paid. Documents, approvals, and delays complicate the situation. The tenant insists they already paid their portion. Now everyone is waiting for DHS to release funds. The judge recalculates, subtracting, adjusting, rechecking, but even with help, they're still short. And the gap becomes painfully clear.
In order for them to release their portion, the 5 something.
Got it. So they weren't expecting a zero.
I think DHS, Your Honor, probably based their decision off of maybe the summons and complaint versus the current balance. And so their tenant portion didn't necessarily cover the current balance due, but that's what I was trying to probably ineloquently explain to the court is that Ms. Vogel, between her 2 payments, did pay the amount that but DHS recorded as the tenant portion based on their review.
It had at the time.
Yeah.
And so the only thing is that then DHS, you're right, they should release it without you being at a zero. But if I look at this and okay, so I'm still going to be short, which is what the problem's going to be. Can you give me 2940 minus 581?
The judge announces the harsh reality. Even after assistance, they're still $350 short. That small amount now controls the entire case. Pay it, and they survive another month. Miss it, and eviction moves forward. The courtroom freezes, waiting for the answer. The tenant quickly promises to pay $500 next week. The tension slightly breaks, but not completely. Because promises don't stop judgments, payments do.
$350.
Okay. So you can probably see what I'm doing. I'm factoring in your
Next month.
pay rent, looking at everything that's going to be paid, and what gets you to where you're at the 2,000 come May 1. And based upon the numbers that I'm running, I'm about 350 short. Okay.
Mhm.
So my question is, I don't have a problem because you went through that process trying to get you to May if the 350 can be paid so that then I just have a balance of
And we have till Wednesday.
pardon?
We have till Wednesday to pay that. $350.
Yeah. So you think you can get that paid next week?
I'll pay
Yeah.
500 next week,
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's easy. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
The judge makes a decisive move. 1 week adjournment. It's a temporary lifeline, not a victory. Pay between $350 and $500 before the deadline. Then the case moves into May eligibility window. Everything now depends on that single payment. The courtroom energy shifts from fear to urgency. They must act fast before time runs out. One delay and the opportunity disappears. This is financial survival measured in days.
To adjourn it out 1 week to make sure that payment's done. Okay, so you're going to pay, I'll just say between 350 to 5. Okay. Pay that. And then if that's done, then what I'm going to do is I will do the adjournment to May. And see, the May date is going to be May 1. So it's the 8th.
Yeah, because of the benchmark.
Oh, I'm not here on the 1st?
No.
Yay.
Forgot about or something?
That wasn't a vacation. She was reminding them of something important.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I am. That's
Not in this room.
all right, May.
Okay.
So what we would be doing is doing that.
Fourth.
Then you could do theoretically, I'm not going to adjourn it at this point to that point.
Right.
But theoretically, what you'd be able to do then is get the application in May 1st.
Mhm.
And we hopefully can maybe have an answer by the 8th and get you guys to ground zero.
The plan becomes clear. Apply again on May 1st. If approved, the balance drops to 0. But funding is limited and competition is fierce. They must call early before slots disappear. The judge schedules the follow-up hearing carefully. Everyone understands this is the final chance. No more extensions. No more extensions. No more excuses. Just proof of payment and program approval. The countdown continues toward decision day.
Yeah, they said to call first thing in the morning on the 1st, and they said it shouldn't have a problem proved. They just, I guess, only let out a limited amount of them because of the income bracket.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
And since we were so late in the month after the last hearing, they already used them all up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys will be all set, and then we'll see you next week at what time? 1 p.m.
Okay.
And that's basically, I'm really just checking
To make
make sure that
held up.
been done, and our numbers will relatively match up, and then get you into May.
All right. Thank you.
And I'll do that over plaintiff's objection to the extent they have an objection, but
Thank you.
I don't think they shouldn't have, because
We're really trying.
Yeah, we are trying.
math with me. All right. Okay, folks. Okay.
All right.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Case.
Then another case begins. Another tenant, same crisis. Balance revealed, over $1,800 already owed, but assistance paperwork has been submitted. The judge refuses to enter immediate judgment. Instead, another 1-week adjournment is granted. A rare moment of courtroom mercy appears. But the warning is clear. Be on time next hearing, because patience in court has limits. And in this courtroom, every dollar decides destiny.